What's up, everyone? My name is Alicia. I am a New York State licensed cosmetologist, and welcome to your back to school Get Ready With Me video. This morning, I have not done my hair and I currently have a bare face, and I am going to show you a quick and simple, yet you look like you're ready and put together morning routine to get ready for the day that is hopefully perfect for those early mornings when you're prepping for the school day and getting ready to get back into routine. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start with makeup first, and I'm gonna keep it super simple. Of course, prior to makeup, I always recommend doing skincare. So your skincare routine is going to be that you get up, you wash your face, and there are two products that I personally have been absolutely loving. The first one is this Laneige Renew Serum. Laneige is a non-toxic ingredient natural skincare brand that I recently came across that I absolutely love. Their products are so good, and I just feel so good about putting products on my skin with ingredients that I know are healthy and non-toxic. So this Renew Serum is kind of like a 3-in-1. It's gonna act as your vitamin C, it's gonna act as your hyaluronic acid, and it's gonna act as your retinol type of anti-aging prevention. So after I wash my face in the morning, I go in with the Laneige Renew Serum. Then, as you may or may not guess, I go in with my tried and true Steli Cosmetics After Dark Face Melt. They have two versions of this face melt. The one that I have here is the naked version, which just means that it's made without two essential oils that is included in the other blend. I believe those two essential oils are eucalyptus and lavender, which for some people can be too harsh on the skin. So I go back and forth between the naked formula and the regular formula. And after, I will take my Laneige Refresh Mist to just kind of set everything together. This is made with a handful of different minerals that helps balance your face, even complexion, just overall skin health. And this is a really great pre-makeup spray to kind of set and lock in your skincare. So those are the skincare steps. I did already do those off camera so that we can get rolling right into the makeup. So what I'm going to say is my go-to, you only have a few minutes, but you want to look nice and put together makeup look, is we're going to focus on three main things. Actually, four main things. The first is going to be blush. Let's get a little bit of color to the face. Let's add some extra life, but not go too crazy either. After blush, I'm gonna dab on just a little bit of highlight so that we can get a little bit more glow and add a bit of an extra shine, but not to be confused with something that looks greasy. It's gonna be like a good shine. Third is going to be quick little brow cleanup. And then fourth is going to be either curling your eyelashes like I like to do, because sometimes getting mascara going is just something that I'm too tired in the morning. My eyes are a little bit teary-eyed or watery just from it being early, and I don't always love to do that. So I'll just opt for curling my eyelashes instead. So I have a little bit more lift, but don't have to deal with the product. But if you're okay with it, then that fourth step, instead of just curling your eyelashes, would be to go ahead and apply your mascara. So let's get into it. I'll show you all the products that I use. First step is blush. Like I mentioned before, I am going to recommend something that is a beautiful pigment. So you want something that's gonna give you that nice, beautiful color, but is also so easy to blend. So one, it saves you time, and two, it's a lot harder to mess up when it's easy to blend. So I have my other tried and true all-time favorite blush. This is the Melt Cosmetics Honey Thief Cream Blush Light. The shade is called Honey Thief. And as you can see, I love this thing. So I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques 200 blush brush and just dab a little bit of product onto the brush. And I always kind of like smile when I do blush so I can focus on the apples of my cheeks and then the line that I want to build up, because the way that I like to apply my blush is that it kind of doubles as adding that color and that beautiful, I don't know, just blushness to the face, but also giving like a little bit more definition at the same time. So I typically start at the apple of my cheek and gently work my way up along the cheekbone. I also do sometimes like to do a C over my temple. And right now I'm just kind of placing the product onto my skin, but I'm gonna start to swirl a little bit to keep blending. And I'm gonna just stroke a little bit to make sure that that blush is everywhere that I want it to be, and kind of just start building out like that form and that shape. Then once that's done, you know the deal, repeat on the other side. And to cap off on my blush, I also like to take just a little baby bit and go over the tip and bridge of my nose, just to add a little bit more of like a sun-kissed color there. So once you're done with your blush, step 2 is going to be highlighter. Similarly to the blush, I'm going to recommend a cream product that is going to blend easily and save you time and effort. So here I am using this little Milk makeup stick. This is shade Lit in just their cream highlighter. I think that cream products are much more blendable than your non-cream or powder products. So these are the ones that I recommend for something that's a little bit more quick, but still nice and put together. So I'm adding just a little bit to the bridge and tip of my nose. I'm rubbing it on my ring finger. That's just the finger that I like to apply it with. And then I'm adding and dabbing some to the high points of my cheekbones. And again, on the other side. Then once we have those 2 products on, what I always like to do is go in with a beauty blender just to kind of make sure that everything looks nice and blended. There are no harsh lines, especially around this area where we're kind of like carving out more of that definition. And the beauty blender will just remove a little bit of that excess product so things look more natural and seamless. And also, believe me when I say that not only all the time, but especially when you're doing your morning routine and you're doing like a back to school, get ready type of look, less is more. It's gonna make your life so much easier, and you wanna optimize the products that you already have. So believe me when I say that less is more. So once we have our blush down and our highlighter down, the third step is just gonna be to clean up our brows. You could do a clear brow gel, spike them up a little bit if you're into the fluffy brow. I'm sure plenty of you know that I don't do anything to my brows except brush them through with a spoolie. So this is by Morphe. I think I just picked this up at Ulta. And what I like to do is just make sure that my brows are nice and tame, brushed up a little bit and cleaned up, but simple, nothing crazy here. I really am embracing just my natural brows. And finally, I'm going to take my eyelash curler. This is by One Another, which I think is from CVS. It's just any old eyelash curler. And I'm going to press down and try and get as close to the root of my lashes as possible. And I usually do between like 10 and 15 little squeezes instead of just holding it down by itself like this. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I am just used to now doing the little squeezes. And you can see that I just have a little bit more lift happening and my eyes look more open and wide with the lashes being lifted up. And of course, repeat on the other side. Okay, and that is our makeup look. I would also suggest when you're getting ready, before we get into hair, one way to make your outfit look a little bit more elevated, but keeping things so simple, is just to throw on some jewelry or accessories. Putting on earrings and a couple of necklaces, and if you have maybe a couple of bracelets or a couple of rings, will make something that is simple just look that much more elevated. And again, it's something that takes literally no time and is so easy to do, especially when you have those early mornings. So now let's get into hair. Hair might be a wee tiny bit more involved, but ultimately it really shouldn't take too much time and is still pretty simple and pretty easy to do. So first step is, of course, going to be to brush your hair through. We will be using heat, so I'm gonna recommend making sure that you have some sort of heat protectant in your hair. I have already sprayed my hair with my heat protectant after I get out of the shower and after I wash my hair. I do it every single time so that I know that my hair is already prepped, especially if I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. It's just kind of like backup. Plus the heat protector that I have is a nice multi-use product. So it's also a detangler, heat protector, preps the whole head. So once we have our hair brushed through, I am going to section it out. So I'm going to take my 2 fingers, drag from the top of my ear to separate my hair into 2 halves, and then clip the top half up. And once that is clipped up and out of the way, I then split it down the middle so that I have my hair on either side. From here, I'm going to take my trusty handy, I love this thing more than my Shark, I said what I said, blow dryer brush. This is the Revlon, and I'm going to go between high and low. I am going to do this on dry hair, and I'm going to use heat. I'm not going to use the cool setting. However, if you sprayed some heat protector onto your dry hair, obviously it would make it a little bit damp, and this would work just as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'll show you first, and then I'll put on the tool and actually do it. I'm going to just do a typical round brush blowout. So I'm going to go and smooth the hair, wrapping gently at the bottom, and I'm gonna go in different directions, this way and then the other way. Again, just kind of wrapping and giving the bottom a little bit of extra love. And then once that's more smooth, I'm gonna take the brush and put it behind my hair and smooth this section by the roots, and then twirl the brush away from my head in a motion like this and let the hair sit. And because the hair will be hot, this will be a lot smoother, and then it will sit like this while we do the same thing to the rest of the head, and then it will give us a nice, bouncy, beautiful blowout look without all of the effort that goes into it. So it might not be as voluminous as if you did do it straight out of the shower, but it's something that is gonna look good and nice and put together. Even, it's kind of like a little hack, kind of like a cutting the corner around doing a full blowout. So the same thing will be done on the other side. The only difference is that, again, I'll be twirling away from my face. So on this side, it's going to look like that. Then once I'm done with that bottom section, I'm gonna go from the corner of my eyebrows and create another section. So I let the next layer of my hair down, repeat the process, and then I'll take that final last section down, repeat the process as well, and then we'll be done. Okay, so now that the hair is done, I'm just going to take my fingers and kind of separate it out a little bit. I have a little bit of bounce, a little bit of a blown out look, but also, if anything, at the very least as well, my hair just looks so much smoother. So if you don't want to go over your hair with a curling iron or a straightening iron, this is one way to get your hair a little bit smoother without doing another form of heat like the curling iron or the straightener. So because my hair is a little bit dirty at the root, I'm just going to flip my head down and then flip it back up to give it just a little bit more volume at the top. And of course, if you wanted to, you could do a little hairspray, add in maybe a little bit of product just to keep that volume up. But everybody, that is your back to school, get ready with me routine. We have simple makeup, simple hair. Hopefully this should only take you like 15, maybe 20 minutes to do in the morning. And with some simple accessories and some cute, simple, put together outfits, you're ready for the day. And your morning routine is hopefully simplified and easier to accomplish each and every day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next month.